Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I promised you to talk about electronic communications when you're sending correspondence to an inmate in US prison. So before we talk about our first one, which is JPAY, I want you to do something for me. Go and click on that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you're notified every time I post a video. It's a free way for you to support me, and I really appreciate it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, add some comments. That would be great. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay, so every state has different types of communication. So today I'm going to talk to you about JPAY. It is an electronic communication system. It doesn't use money the way people think it does. It uses stamps. You buy stamps. So in a way, it does use money, just in a different way. So I'm going to show you what JPAY looks like on your computer, on your desktop, as well as on your phone, if you have it on your mobile device. And you can see it right on my screen as you follow along with it. And I have to apologize. I have to take away some of the names because of, well, confidentiality reasons. But let's take a look. This is what JPAY is. It says email. However, just keeping in mind that inmates do not have access to internet. So it's not really email. They usually have a tablet or a kiosk where they can check their messages, and some of them can write back, some can't. Just something to keep in mind. So they may have JPAY that they can receive but not necessarily answer. Again, that will depend on the person you're writing to. So if you don't have an account, this is where you would set up an account. You would fill that out and get your account done. You can also download the app to your phone. I find it a lot more convenient, but actually I have both. I have it on my desktop and I have it on my phone, and I'll show you the phone version as well. But you can download it on your App Store or on your Google Play, depending on your phone. So let's go into JPAY. I do have an account, so I don't need to sign up. But if you're looking for anything, basically, there's a lot of stuff in there. So I'm going to log into my account. So that is my account right here. And I do have several contacts. I'm going to not show that, obviously, for their protection. However, if you watched my previous few videos, I did find Ryan Simpson here in Washington when I was doing a video about how to use writeaprisoner.com website. So I'm just going to use the same person because we already talked about him. So if you look at it, he does have email. JPAY Media is where you can fund their account. So this is where inmates can get anything for their media account, from classes to songs to movies, etc. So you can send them money for that purpose. You can send them money to their commissary, which is their store in prison. Totally different topic. I will cover commissary at a different time, but this is where you can transfer money to them. This is Video Connect. So if you have video visits with an inmate, and I will probably do a video at some point in time on video visits because they're different in different systems, but this is if you had a video visit, you would connect on there. You would have a scheduled visit. You'd be approved on their list. There's a whole process where you have to do your background check and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just interested in an email. So if you need to add an inmate, I had Mr. Ryan Simpson on here. So again, to do that, you would put the state here. This was Washington, and his number 816-766. He will come up. Now when you register your account, it will show your profile. So your name, date of birth, it won't show it to the inmate. They won't see that. The inmate would only see your first name and last name. They won't see the rest. So don't worry, your information is private. They'll only see your first name and last name. As we talked before, if you're writing to an inmate, if you put a fake name, some people choose to put their fake name. However, if you do have those video visits or phone calls,
and so you have to do a background check. It won't match your JPay, and so you won't be able to do that because your ID and your background check will not match your JPay account. There's individual information. These are all the inmates I might have in there. There's phone payment methods. You can choose your email preferences, you know, if you need to change that. JPay is a little bit picky now, so sometimes they won't accept changes. You might have to call them. The reason they're picky is because people have been setting up fake accounts and setting up several fake accounts. So they want to make sure that you only have one account and one account only. But you can update your preferences. For example, if you want to be notified when you have a message, you'll be notified. I want to be notified, of course. Otherwise, you don't know one is in there. Newsletters, I don't really care about newsletters. I have it checked here, but I might uncheck it at some point. I don't know. But you can check your preferences there. So then my account, again, will go to payment methods, and it has, I have a credit card already put in here because that's how I buy stamps. Stamps are not the thing we put on the envelope. It's what we use to pay for letters. So one stamp is equal to one letter. If you're doing pictures, it's usually one stamp for each attachment. So whether you're doing a greeting card, that's one stamp, or a picture, that's one stamp. So that would add up. If you're doing a video, if you want to record a video for that person, it's different for different states, but I know for Washington it is 4 stamps. So 4 stamps gives you a 30-second video clip that you can send to them. Anyway, we're gonna go into home, and there's Ryan. We can always add or edit all the inmates here, so I can delete them later. I'm just gonna do that now. By the way, a little bit of a note, I just added him here. So you might be surprised that he'll send an email before I got a chance to send him handwritten one. So maybe I'm writing him a handwritten letter and I get the email, because on his end, he's gonna see I've added him. He might just be curious, hey, who is this, and whichever. So I've had that before where I added the person, and before I had a chance to send them anything, I got an email from them going, hi, how are you? I noticed you added me. So anyway, just something to keep in mind. You might want to, I'm going to delete this very quickly after I do this video, because I don't want Mr. Simpson here to write me an email and waste his stamps, because I'm not going to be corresponding with him. But to write an email, it's very simple. You're going to click on an email, and this is where you're going to write your email right here. You're going to write whatever you want. Hi, my name is Svetlana. I can't write today. This is where you write anything you would like about yourself. Again, keeping in mind that for some facilities, some states, they may not be able to see where you are. They don't have your information. So if they're getting a tablet, they'll see what you wrote and they can respond right back to you. But if they don't have a tablet, they're at a kiosk, I don't know what information that kiosk has, because every place is different. And if they're getting a printout, as in a prison will just print out your letter and hand it to that person. So if you want him to write you a letter back, a handwritten letter, he doesn't have your address. So where you might write him a letter and just put my address is, and just make sure you write your address in there. So if you want him to do a handwritten letter to you, put your address in there. Otherwise he won't know that. So once you hit send, it's going to go to him. But before you hit send, I'm going to show you this. You can attach e-cards. It has some cards. I don't know. I don't use them, but some people like them. So again, every attachment is one stamp. Each letter is one stamp. You have here 19,961 characters to fill up. Something to note, that the longer the email is, the longer it takes for him to get it. What I mean by that is, we touched on this, correspondence is not private. So when this email is sent, the facility will go through it and they will read it. Sometimes they scan for certain words, so be careful what you write in there. Like I said, it's not private, and I will do a video about certain do's and don'ts when writing your letters or emails. But you definitely don't want to put a lot of swear words, or you don't want to put anything not legal into your correspondence, just because it is not private. He's not the only one looking at it. It will be reviewed by the prison. If it's not approved, it will get rejected, and you just wasted your stamps. They will not refund your money or your stamps, because it will be considered your fault that it was rejected. So if I write a short email, he'll probably get that. It depends how busy the facility is. Anywhere between 2 hours to, I don't know, sometimes a week, depending, again, the facility. They have to have staff reviewing these messages. So if they're not busy, sometimes I've gotten messages back within half hour, even 1 hour. But if it's weekend and they have very limited amount of staff, it might take 2-3 days to get a reply back. If it's a long email, like I just mentioned, and they have to review all of it, obviously it's going to take longer. So something to keep in mind. If you want something short, to the point, send it to them and they'll get it faster. If you don't mind the wait, then yeah, I write long letters, but then I do that knowing that it might take a few days, and I'm okay with that. So again, it says the email requires 1 stamp. Each attachment requires 1 additional stamp. So if I want to attach a photo of myself or any kind of photos, I would choose file, attach it, and that would be 1 stamp. So there are limits to how much you can send. I believe Washington's up to 5 attachments. I'm not sure on that one. Every state, again, is different. So I don't know if Ryan can get emails and write to him. If he has a tablet, he'll get the emails. If he can respond back from his tablet, I don't know anything about him. Or if he has kiosk days, means he has to wait until it's that day to go to the kiosk and check his messages. So I don't know when he'll get it, when he'll be able to write back. If he doesn't have a way of replying by electronic correspondence, he'll have to do it by handwritten letter. So every state is different and every facility is different. So that is pretty much how it works. Right here is include a prepaid reply for the individual. So this is where if you click prepaid reply, that means you're giving him a free reply. So this email requires 1 stamp. It is the same for him. He has to pay 1 stamp to send you a reply. If you check this, that means he can reply to you at no cost to him. So you just paid for his reply. Some states have a free reply day. For example, right now, Washington has free reply Wednesdays. And you got to check the Eastern time thing. But if you send this on a Wednesday, you can check this and it would say free reply. So he can answer you and not pay for it. So that would be kind of nice. So if I know it's a free reply day, I will check that, because he will get that extra stamp that he can write to me and he can save some money. Why not, right? Or if you just know that he's low on stamps and you want to send that prepaid reply for him, that's up to you. So that is one thing I wanted to mention in here, the prepaid reply. So there's a difference. You can transfer stamps. So you can send stamps to a certain inmate, or you can do a prepaid reply. So what is the difference? Now I can kind of preview. It's going to show you what it's going to look like. This is what he would see. That would be on his screen. As you can see, he would only see my first name, my last name, and the date. He's not going to see any of my information. So that's kind of nice. But I'm going to cancel this because I don't want it to send. Anyway, so right here is where you have transfer stamps. So for example, if I know Ryan doesn't have stamps, or I just want to send him some stamps, I can send him, let's say 10 stamps, whatever many I want to send it to him. So he'll have 10 stamps. Now he can use it to anybody he would like. That means he has 10 letters or 8 letters, 2 attachments. I don't know, whichever way he wants to spend the stamps. But he has 10 stamps to use up. He can send it to anybody he wants. If I want him to only use those stamps to me, so where you saw that letter, compose a letter, if I click here, include a prepaid reply, that means he can only reply to me. So if I only want to use those stamps for myself, like I only want him to write to me using my stamps, then do that. I actually do that often, especially when it's a free reply day, because, well, this is stamps I paid for, and I want him to write to me using what I paid for. But that's completely up to you. So right here, stamp balance, it will tell you how many stamps you have. So important to know when you buy stamps, stamps are individual per state. So here I have 35 Arizona stamps. These are only valid in Arizona. I can't use those stamps anywhere else. Washington, I have 6 stamps. Ohio, I have 8 stamps. So for example, if I'm no longer talking to that inmate, then those stamps will be sitting there. But you can't use Washington stamps in Arizona, for example. And that's one thing I wish wasn't there. It used to be universal stamps, that whatever many stamps you have, you can use anywhere, but now it's per state only, which sucks, in my opinion. Just because if you have a pen pal and let's say they got released, or you no longer talking to that pen pal, you're stuck with those stamps. So that's unfortunately too bad, but you'll have those stamps sitting there. They do expire. I don't know how long you have to use them up, but it's a very, very long time. I've had these stamps sitting there for quite a long time. To buy stamps, again, I choose Ryan here in Washington. You can change an inmate. But let's say I want to buy stamps, because you can't write letters without stamps, right? So this tells you the prices, and prices are different in each state. So for example, $5 here, this is $5 US, gives you 20 letters. $7.50 gets you 35 letters, or $10 gets you 60 letters. Obviously, the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. So let's say if I changed inmates to somebody else and I chose somebody that is in California. So stamps there are $5.25 for 20 letters, $18 for 80 letters, $10 for 40 letters. That should be in the right order, but oh well. So you can see the prices are different state by state. Some are more expensive, some are less, but that is basically that. So if you need to write to an inmate, you got to buy stamps. So right here, I would go into send money. And if I want to send money to somebody, I would send money right there. I don't have money set up because I don't send money. So I'm just going to go back to home here. I'm going to go back to Ryan right there. And this is where I would go and delete him if I want to do that. Right there, he's been deleted. So that is basically the JPay app on your desktop. And now we're going to go into JPay mobile. All right, so let's look at JPay on your mobile device. Obviously, your mobile device will be different than mine, but you download the app and it is free to download, and it's going to look pretty much like this. So when you look at it, the top right here will show you send money. This is when you're sending money to an inmate. You'll have your email, fund media, just like we covered on the desktop version, and then snap and send for photos, videograms for videos. Let's take a look at how this works. So when I open the email, again, it's going to show me the same thing, the inbox, and then you can click right here to compose a message. You're going to add your contact. You can again choose prepaid reply or not. You're going to compose your email and you're going to click send. Or if you want to do an attachment, you're going to do an attachment right there in that corner. So right here, again, it tells you this is your inbox, send, compose, draft, and of course, your stamps, because they want to make sure you're buying stamps, and it's going to tell you a balance of your overall stamps. And when you buy stamps, you're going to have to select contacts. So we'll come back to that. So I'm not even going to touch fund media because we discussed that, and that's a whole separate thing. Snap and send is pretty cool. You can't do this on your desktop, but you can only do this in your mobile version. So if you want to snap a photo or send a quick photo, you don't have to attach it to a message like you do on a desktop. You have to attach it. Here you can just send a photo. Again, it will charge you 1 stamp for that photo, but you can do it just right there, just a photo, and it gets there faster. So you can choose to go from your files, your gallery, whatever your phone is set up. So if I went to my gallery and I chose a photo, obviously I would have to select the contact and I would click send. Pretty cool. Now this is the part that a lot of people love, videograms. Now, if the inmate you're talking to is able to receive videograms, so you have to check with him, he would love this. Some states actually allow you to receive videograms from the inmate. I know right now only Ohio has videograms that you can receive, but there's more and more that are doing that. So that's kind of cool. So he can send you a video as well. But here's how it works. We're going to tap on videogram. You're going to choose your inmate. So somebody who can receive a video. You're going to press record. It's going to give you a message. And you can talk about whatever you choose to talk about for 30 seconds. You're going to press record. I'm not going to do that, obviously, because I don't want to send that. But you can press record. And it's going to give you different angles, but you can record a message and send it to that person. Yeah, it's going to give you 30 seconds, or up to 30 seconds, I should say, and then you click send, or you can retake it. Again, as something I mentioned before, make sure that you double check how many stamps it takes, because some states are different. It's usually about 3 stamps, 4 stamps, up to 5 stamps for that specific inmate, depending on their state and their facility. So it's pretty expensive for that 30 seconds, but at least you got that. And like I said, some states, inmate can actually send you a video as well. So with JPay right here is where you have pretty much everything as well. So your profile, your payment methods, if you want to buy a tablet for the inmate, of course, your money transfer, all your contacts, if you want to change your name, username, your password, if you want to buy stamps, everything like that is right here. So it's pretty neat. And that is, and again, you log out of there for your protection, just to notice anything from JPay to Securus to Corlinks to any communication system, it will time out for your own protection. They do log you out. So you only have so many minutes until it logs you out. So something to remember, because if you're typing a message and you walk away, your message is going to be lost. But again, that's for your protection, because you don't want to leave it and somebody can get hold of your phone or your computer and send whatever it is that you want to send, or send themselves your stamps. Who knows? Anyway, so that is the mobile version of JPay. So this is JPay, you guys. If you have any questions, contact me. I'm happy to expand on it or answer any. And if you guys are using it and you know more than I do, please put that into the comments, because we are all learning it as we go along. So this is JPay. For those of you using different systems, join me on my next video where I'm going to talk to you about Securus. Have a good one.